All right, let's give bull streams a chance here to get up and running. We got about 10 seconds until the market close, so we'll get to see what the closing price is here. Let's go ahead and get started. There's a closing bell. Good afternoon. This is Ifan from the Strategic Day Trader, and this is your market wrap for November 11th, 2021. Qs up 0.28, had a gap up this morning. Q, SPY, and IWM all gapped up. SPY just about flat on the day, and then IWM up 0.8. All right, we came into today bearish on the Qs and SPY if we can either set up a sell setup or if we base longer and then break down, right? Our focus is the hourly, as it has been. We're in an hourly downtrend now, and now we're doing the hourly sell setup. Okay, so lower high at the declining 20 MA, right? As long as we stay below, for the IWM here, which has the nicest sell setup, below 240.32, then we remain bearish in the short term. Once the hourly trend ends, I expect that we will trigger a daily buy setup at some point. And so then when that happens, hourly goes back into an uptrend, daily triggers the buy setup, then we will be back to bullish. But for now, we're just going to follow the hourly trend, right? As long as that stays making lower highs and lower lows, then we will remain short-term bearish. So over today's high on the Qs, and same for the SPY. If we take that out, we'll no longer be short-term bearish, and then we'll be watching that daily buy setup. If that triggers, then we will be moving back to bullish. All right, let's get into today's plays here. I'm going to start with this UPH. This was my first play of the day here, UPH. Tried it as a breakout this morning. Here's the daily. Okay, so gapping over a couple red bars here. Want to see how much we can get back up into this downtrend here, because it looks like we bottomed. We transitioned actually quite a while ago, and then moving up like the gap and everything. So yesterday we talked about what if you miss the first entry. How do we find the next entry? How do we play it? You could say that what happened on the UPH today was also a re-entry or a second play, but the first setup failed actually. So here's that breakout that I played, ended up not working, took a loss on it. Okay, so that's where it stopped. It was trying to do a 5-minute buy setup, it looked like, and then there's that 5-minute buy setup, and then it failed. Okay. So after that, kind of didn't really watch it anymore because it was losing the uptrend all the way back to the lows. So what got my attention then is then the 5-minute started to turn back into an uptrend, right? So we got a pivot there, and then we put in a higher low. All we need is a higher high. So once we get that higher high, then we will be back into an uptrend on the intraday. So that was the first play, breakout into new highs. We did get some new highs, but not enough for me to get to a target. Okay, and then replayed it in the afternoon here on the UPH, which was pretty nice here. Looking for 295 on the first piece. We did trail some because they did get pretty close, 292. And then as we kind of moved up to retest 3, took another quarter, and then the last quarter came out 5-minute bar by bar. So yeah, that more than made up for the original play from the morning, pretty much doubled it. That loss became a gain, so that was pretty nice. So really nice setup here. 20 MA started to curl back up. We start to go back up into an uptrend, right? So this was played twice today on the UPH, okay? And then really nice play from Sammy on the BHG this morning. He even did an ad on it. Here was the breakdown on that. Pretty nice, and just all day hold if you can stick with it. Yeah, all day hold. Really lovely gap. That's the reason it was focused on. Yeah, clearing to all-time lows. That's what we like. Yeah, as much as possible. That has really been working nicely. It's been giving us a lot of good follow through. We had the VMEO recently. That was all-time lows. Yesterday, we played the up, and that was breaking to all-time lows. So a lot of these things, they don't have support in the way, and you can aim for the big target. If it doesn't accelerate, then just try to stick with it all day. Okay, so a really nice follow through on the BHG. And then also nice call from James on the ADMA. See, it's transitioning here on the daily. Had a nice tight base this morning, and then got the breakout. And then I think he just closed it here, trailed it here into the end of the day. So that turned out pretty nice as well. So yeah, some nice plays today, I thought, across the board and throughout the day. Still feels like earnings season, if you ask me. And I thought things may slow down a little bit this week compared to the last couple of weeks. It has, but not too dramatically. Okay, so let's hope that that remains the case, because a lot more stuff to do now than I think will be the case in even 2 weeks probably. Okay. All right. So we have our market bias bearish as long as we stay below today's high. That's the hourly pivot. Okay. And then we'll see what we get tomorrow. Sometimes Fridays are a little bit like Monday. If you recall, this Monday was a little bit quiet, but I thought, okay, we did a decent job focusing on quality. So if tomorrow ends up being kind of like Monday, less gaps, less quality gaps, then that will really be the goal, okay, is to maybe less plays and then just try to manage them appropriately. Okay. All right, guys. Hope you did well today. We'll be back at it tomorrow, and I will talk to you then. Have a good evening.